while I was there, I learned about the film pipeline process and pretty much what the pipeline describes. Y'all gotta understand what a film is. The film is pretty much the big band of orchestra for visual art. You have a bunch of different disciplines coming together to create one piece. So, as a 2D and 3D artist, I had my part to play in this big band. But there's multiple people and multiple steps within this process that involve a lot of creative people. Writers, musicians, visual people, set designers, clothing designers, people who are just kind of creative in managing and structuring things. So, right now, what I'm going to go through for our presentation, I'm going to go through the concept and the 3D portions of a film pipeline. But within the film pipeline, you got the first thing you got is the idea. So somebody, like a writer, will come up with a concept. Take that concept, make it ready to a script for film. Then I get it, and I kind of visualize everything he's been writing about through designing of the characters, through the environmental design, through drawing first. Everything is drawn first. Then, I, as a 3D artist, have to kind of bring this stuff to life, either for live action or for 2D. Once all that stuff is kind of, you create your fake characters, your monsters, your heroes, your villains, your environment, then you have to do the technical stuff. So you got to light this stuff, you got to add special effects to it, you got to put a skeleton in the character to make it move, you got to have an animator do the performance for the creature, right? So when all that's said and done, you got to go to something called post-production, and that's pretty much just, y'all know about Final Cut Pro or After Effects or Premiere. That's somebody taking all the pieces that different artists worked on in film, including the music, putting it together in one form, sitting with the director, and figuring out how he's going to deliver this story to an audience. And that's pretty much it. That's it. And then there's legal stuff, you got distribution, you got marketing, all the cool stuff, but pretty much the director is pretty much new age artist. He's a band leader that's kind of taking everybody's talent and making one big push to tell a narrative. That's all they're going to be doing. I'm going to go through my section of the band. Go to the next one. So pretty much, this is how the process starts. And this stuff is too dark in the day. So what you have first, you have a bunch of conceptual artists who, with the script, try to put everything into a visual format. Just drawing, observing different people. And then, once they get to a good point, me as the designer, I have to kind of give the 3D artist a kind of schematic of the character. And this happens the same thing with vehicles. This happens to building the environment. So if I had to build a world or a city that nobody ever saw before, an artist would have to go give me details. I need everything from inside the room to what it's going to look like, daytime, nighttime, evening, what happens in the rain. So all this stuff is coming from visual art. Me as a 3D artist, now I have to go actually build this stuff in 3D. Now, who remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Anybody? All right. Do y'all know what that was? That's stop motion animation and puppets, right? All 3D is digital puppets. So, history's on. So all that complicated stuff y'all see on TV, digital puppets in a computer that somebody's attaching strings to make moves. All that stuff. So I'm the person that builds the puppet, right? I usually am the person that designs the puppet on 2D, and I take it in the computer, and I actually do the 3D portion of it, right? Now, what's about to happen now, when I build the puppet, I got to paint the puppet. So you'll hear somebody throw a word around UV and texture method. All that is I'm going to take the skin off the puppet, lay it flat, color on it, and then put it back on. That's all texture mapping is. Usually, if I'm not talented enough to do that myself, I'll get somebody like Machine Do, who knows how to color, he knows color theory, he knows how to design. So I'll hand him a flat file, he'll color it up for me, and I'll put it on the 3D model. So you have a bunch of different disciplines coming into play when it comes to this process. Now, if you're a professional, if you understand this film pipeline, you can kind of cater your work to put yourself on the team. If you are a comic book artist, you know how to storytell, so you can be a storyboard. It depends on how you want to roll. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little history about myself. Go to the next one, please. So y'all can't see that. So these are slides from the first Incredible Hulk movie. I was a junior 3D modeler. We had 3 teams. We had animators, modelers, and technical artists. The modeling team pretty much built all the assets, from creatures to environments to jets to airplanes, and I was part of that group. The animators made it move, and the technical artists made all the stuff look cool, like lighting, special effects, missiles, fire, stuff like that. And we had I think a 20-man team for one film, and it was literally 5 people working on one character. So me being a junior guy, so you have the Incredible Hulk, we had a lead modeler, and then he had like 5 assistants. I was one of them. What would happen, he would design the initial model. We would give it over to the animators. The animators would break the model, meaning when they're animating it, they're pushing the model too far. And then something that happened like a muscle will look wrong or the leg will look too long. And then I have to go back and resculpt it for film. And I had to do this per frame. So you have to know anatomy, you have to know how to draw, you have to know pretty much how the body works. So that's pretty much my role there as a 3D model. Go to the next slide, please. Same thing for Van Helsing. Van Helsing was more of a challenge because the Vampire Bride was a real head, so we had to take the actual real head and put it on a 3D body. Before they were all CG, but they didn't look right. And pretty much the same process. We go clean up anything that the animators break. If anybody animated, I'm sorry, but y'all stop. Sorry. All right, go to the next one. So these are pretty much some of the stuff that we do when we have downtime at the studio. We pretty much do like work. We refine our skill sets. This is pretty much an exercise for my supervisor. They wanted to see, they were going to put me on a project where I had to